Welcome to News from Down Home, where I talk about news from my hometown of Princess Anne, Maryland. I spent my youth, my young childhood in Somerset County, Maryland. Princess Anne is the county seat. My family had moved there in 1903 from Western Pennsylvania, and I spent from the age of year old to 13 years there before we moved away from my father's job. I still regard it as my hometown because I have fond memories of wandering the streams and fields of Somerset County with my three-legged dog, the German Shepherd dog, Rin Tin Tin, Rinny, whom I see every morning on old home videos that I play on my computer as I get started. So let's talk about the Marylander and Herald, April 11th, 1916. Now, Marylander and Herald was the paper of record in Princess Anne, Maryland, Somerset County, when I was young, until the 1980s. And one of the things I wanted to bring up something here today. The Pusey Morris wedding I thought was interesting. Now, Mr. John W. Morris announces the marriage of his daughter, Miss Anna, Virginia, to Mr. Laura C. Pusey on Wednesday, April 5th, 1916. Now, here's what's interesting about this. Um, Mr. Pusey had the misfortune to have his leg broken in two places on the 2nd at the crossing of the New York P&N Railroad and was taken to the Peninsula General Hospital at Salisbury for treatment, at which place the wedding took place in the presence of relatives of the contracting parties, the ceremony being performed by the Reverend D.J. Guyvan, pastor of Antioch Methodist Episcopal Church, Princess Anne. The wedding day had been set before the accident, and as Mr. Pusey had been pronounced out of danger, it was decided there was no good reason for postponing the marriage. Mr. and Mrs. Pusey, after May 15th, will reside on Isabella Street, Extended in Salisbury, Maryland. I just thought that was interesting that they went ahead and had their wedding anyway. Also, in this edition of the paper, it talks about there was a fire in Crisfield. Four dwellings on East Maryland Avenue were destroyed. The blaze broke out at 3 o'clock in the morning in the chimney of one of the houses and raged for about 2 hours. All four of the houses were occupied by tenant families and were owned by John S. Taylor of Crisfield. So it was a terrible, terrible loss, terrible loss. So I hope if you know any of these people or know any of these people's descendants, obviously these people are dead now, but if you know their descendants, please don't hesitate to let me know. Put it in the comments. I'd love to hear about them, whatever you might know personally. Of course, that's assuming you're from the Eastern Shore of Maryland or that you go through there. If you do go through there, I hope that you'll take a look. But anyway, let's talk about a notable historic home or house or structure in Somerset County. Um, I wanted to talk about the Catalpa farm. Now, the Catalpa, Catalpa farm, is a home and farm complex located at Princess Anne. It's a two-story, five-bay center passage structure built in two stages. The older section was built in 1825 to 1840, and the rest of it was built later. Now, the Maryland Archives for Historical Buildings talks about the Catalpa farm has had its longest historical associations with the Long family, beginning with Zadok Long, Zadock, who purchased several tracts of land. Law's Purchase, Davis's Choice, and Walton's Improvement, that's what they were called, from John and Margaret Byrd, Byrd, and Mary Smith in 1804. Prior to Long's ownership, the plantation was apparently tenanted by Joseph Matthews, whose name is listed in the 1798 tax assessment as occupying the land of John Byrd. So they describe the house and everything and how big it is. But Zadok Long's will, proved on February 13th, 1838, stipulated that the land purchased of John Byrd and wife and Mary Smith in the mill lot adjoining would pass to Edward C. Long. Now, Edward Long occupied the farm until 1865, and at his death, the home farm and mill lot passed to Charles Whittington Long, who held onto the property for 50 years. Now, Charles W. Long sold the 335-acre farm, then known as Catalpa Farm, to E. Walter Long in 1915. After E. Walter Long's death in 1971, the property passed to his personal representatives, Virginia L. Long and John W. Long. In 1974, Robert W. and Lois Long sold 5.94 acres surrounding the house and outbuildings to Donald L. and Elizabeth Henderson. In 1984, the house was sold once more to Dr. Raymond Ziegler. Now, the other tobacco houses are different earlier than tobacco barns. So there's some other types like this. This Catalpa farm has important archaeological resources. They're thinking, but that needs to be done. There's needs to be archaeological work done here, and maybe hasn't been done yet. So anyway, that's a notable historical structure. And if you're ever down on Eastern Shore, Maryland, probably heading to Ocean City for a vacation, I would hope that you would stop by Somerset County and look around. Thank you.